This week's show marks the beginning of our second year of programming here on Southwest Stages. Our second birthday falls on the 4th of July, and we can't ignore the fact that while we enjoy these great concerts, many Americans are away fighting a war very far from home. So in support of our troops, we at Southwest Stages would like to extend our many thanks to the hardworking men and women that are fighting in Iraq and beyond. This show is dedicated to the men, women, and the families of our U.S. Armed Forces. Thank you all for your sacrifice. May all of our loved ones come home safe. From the heart of the Southwest in Albuquerque, New Mexico, this is Southwest Stages. I'm your host, John Strader.
Yeah, the revolution starts now. Yeah, the revolution starts now. You're back out in your own homes. So what you do is stay around, just follow your heart. Your revolution starts.
On this edition of Southwest Stages, we'll return to the Lensic Performing Arts Center in Santa Fe, New Mexico for another great Fan Man production. Our guest, Steve Earle, rocked country music to its core back in the 1980s with his breakout album, Guitar Town. In the 1990s, Earle helped to lead the alt-country revolution, helping make alt-country what it is today. His brash, outlaw country style, powerful heartland rock, and well-crafted lyrics have made him one of America's legendary singer-songwriters. Through his music and lyrics, he's been putting himself on the line as a political activist for several decades. In 2002, he released Jerusalem, his State of the Union address. The fiery political comments on that album ruffled more than a few feathers in the conservative media and the halls of political power. In February of 2005, Steve Earle and his band The Dukes were on tour to support his latest CD and political statement, The Revolution Starts Now.
Revolution starts now.
They made a stop at Santa Fe, New Mexico's historic Lensic Theater, and Southwest Stages was there to capture their Santa Fe performance. So tune in this hour as Southwest Stages brings you an evening with Steve Earle.
You take a look in the mirror, tell me what you see. Another satisfied customer in the front of the line for the American dream. Now I remember when we was both out on the boulevard talking revolution, singing the blues. Nowadays it's letters to the editor and cheating on the taxes is the best that we can do. Look around. There's doctors down Wall Street and they're shopping and their scalpels and trying to cut a deal. Meanwhile, back at the hospital, got accountants playing God and passing out the pills. And yeah, I know that sucks. Bet your HMO ain't doing what you thought it would do. Everybody's gotta die sometime, and we can't save everybody. It's the best that we can do. What? 50 years ago, our forefathers made us equal, long as we can pay. Yeah, maybe that ain't exactly what they were thinking, cause the 6 American way. But hey, we built a wall around this country club, keep the riff-raff out till the slump is through. I know they ain't exactly democratic, but it's either them or us. It's the best we can do. See, we're passionately conservative.
It's the best we can do.
That means we're conservatively passionate.
It's the best we can do.
Meanwhile, I'm still thinking, hey, let's blow up Iraq, then Iran, North Korea, Syria.
It's the best we
How
can
about
do.
Texas? This is the best time of the day, the dawn, the final cleansing breath, unsullied yet by acrid fume or desk cacophony, the rank refuse of unchained ambition. And pray deny me not, but know me now. Your faithful retainer stands resolute to serve his liege lord without recompense, perchance to fall and perish namelessly. No flag-draped bier or muffled drum to mark the cadence for a final dress parade. But it was not always thus. Remember, once you worshipped me and named me a god of many tongues and made offering lest I exact too terrible a tribute. Take heed, for I am weary, ancient and decrepit now, and my time grows short. There are no honorable phrase to join, only mean death dealt out in dibs and dabs, or horror unleashed from across oceans. Assail me not with noble policy, for I care not at all for platitudes of surrender, such tedious detail to greater minds than mine, nimbler tongues, singular in their purpose and resolve, and presuming to speak for every man. For another time, a distant field, and their immortal warrior's lonely grave. But duty charges me remain until the end, the last battle of the last war. Until that morrow, render unto me that which is mine, my stipend well deserved, the fairest flower of your progeny, your sons, your daughters, your hopes and your dreams, the cruel consequence of your conceit.
All right, well, this is John Strader, and I'm here at the Lensic Performing Arts Center in Santa Fe, New Mexico, backstage with our guest today, Steve Earle. How are you doing there, Steve?
I'm doing fine.
In the 90s, there didn't seem to be much music that was really coming out that was talking about today's world and the politics of what's happening. And then in 2002, you came out with Jerusalem. What really changed for you to make you decide that you wanted to stand up and really speak out against the system?
It really wasn't a decision. I mean, I've written Copperhead Road's a pretty political record. You know, I think if you just look at the world around, and the way it's changed and
Sure.
all the things that have happened. I mean, Jerusalem was about, my ignorance of Islam and our ignorance of Islam and how dangerous I think that is. I think being ignorant of Islam allows you to be lied to about what, it allows you to have to take someone else's word for what Islam is and what Islam isn't. And it's very important that we understand what it is, but I think the fact that we attacked Iraq in response to September 11th is a product of our ignorance. And this last election, when it got right down to it, it wasn't family values. It wasn't any stuff. That stuff helped. But when it got right down to it, a lot of people
voted on that.
Like basically at the last minute decided that George W. Bush made them feel safe, and they went in and voted that way.
Mm-hmm. You came out with your album right before the election, trying to help sort of change the role. I mean, you've been compared to Michael Moore in a lot of ways like that, and tell me about that and getting that project out, trying to really make a difference in the election. And then what do you think happened? I mean,
it was a really, really close election, and it was it was almost as close as the last election, and a lot of people turned out. A lot of people worked really hard, and we got outmaneuvered. But it's but it was still really close, and a lot of people got involved in the process that had never been involved before.
Yeah.
And now I think it's up to us that have been doing this longer, and who aren't prone to pessimism to sort of buoy the people up that are relatively new to it, because a lot of them feel like they got their asses kicked, and I totally understand. I had to go to Europe. If I left for Europe the day after the election and spent 2 months there touring, which made it a lot easier to process.
Sure.
It's a lot easier
Just
to
get
process
out of your
a
mind
debacle
here.
outside of the insane asylum.
Yeah. I mean, people in Europe, do you think they think we're crazy over here?
They do now.
Yeah.
They before they thought we just had a bad administration and that we'd made a mistake. Now they hold us responsible for it because because we reelected him.
We're begging your pardon, there, stranger, but you look like you're new to this town. We're a long way away from the beach here. You won't see many gringos around. Where I come from, West Colorado, I've traveled this world far and wide, and I've lived for some years in the shadows, and my eyes are unused to this light. But if you buy me a strong drink of whiskey, I will tell you the tale of my life. Well, it's long and it's sad, but it fits me, and it may bring a tear to your eye. Now, men of my family was soldiers, son. The hard-fighting, straight-talking kind. When my turn came, all that was over, but I'd already made up my mind. And I was there when we blew through Grenada, and I still had to ask myself why. And then we took down that Noriega, and that's when I caught the good colonel's eye. Well, he asked me if I love my country, and before I had time to reply, he regaled me with tales of past glories, and I believed every one of his life. So I left my old life behind me. I said goodbye to my family and friends, and I did everything that they asked me, and I lost some sleep now and again, and I lived like a thief and assassin. I smuggled their poison sometime, till I asked the wrong question passing, and the colonel said drop the dime. If you're ever in West Colorado, tell the folks around Durango goodbye. There's a price on my head, so I can't go. I just wait around here until I die.
Hi, I'm Steve Earle, playing at the Lensic Performing Arts Center in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and you're listening to Southwest Stages Radio.
Thank you so much. Now, the thing about the folks at Start Wars is they are, for the most part, old guys with a lot of money, and they're not fucking going. And more to the point, their kids aren't going. Now, my boys are 18 and 23 years old. But I make an embarrassing amount of money for a borderline Marxist, and I probably can prevent my children from becoming involved in this illegal and immoral war. But I do realize that not everyone has that luxury. And I don't know, before the election, there was one point where the administration got into kind of a panic, and everything, for 3 days they were talking about nothing except for
no, there will not be a draft. No, there are no plans for a draft. And, you know, I didn't believe them at the time. I thought that just doing the math, I didn't see how they could pursue this policy, because it isn't going to stop in Iraq. It's not about Iraq. It's about war without end, and I really, truly believe that in my heart. And I didn't see how they could pursue that policy without a draft. The math just didn't make sense to me. Of course, and you know, wouldn't be the first time this administration's math was off. But since then, it dawned on me that maybe at least the president himself believes, this is one time he's not lying to us, that he actually believes what he's telling us when he says there will be no draft. If you think about who ends up in the armed services nowadays, it's people that can't find a job where they live, or people that just want an education that can't afford one. So if this administration continues to pursue its domestic agenda, they have an unlimited supply of cannon fodder. Think about that. And I don't think that's paranoid at all. So this is for my kids and your kids, and God knows how many Iraqi kids. And Jimmy joined the army 'cause he had no place to go. 'Cause there ain't nobody hiding right here since I was chasing down Mexico. Reckon that learn self-trade, maybe see the world. Move to the city someday and marry a black-haired girl. Somebody somewhere had another plan. That's got a rifle in his hands, rolling in the Baghdad, wondering how it got this far. Just another poor boy off to fight a rich man's war. Father got an eagle and a flag tattooed on his arm. Red, white, and blue to the bone, we'll land in Canada. Left behind a pretty young wife and a baby girl. A stack of voodoo bills and went off to save the world. It's been a year and he's still there, chasing ghosts on thin dry air. Meanwhile, back at home, finance company took his car. He's just another poor boy out to fight a rich man's war. Got turn, then I says we're free. There was a second son of a second son. Grew up in guys throwing bottles and rocks when the tanks come. Ain't nothing else to do around here, it's just a game children play. Something about living in fear all your life makes your heart that way. But he answered when he got the call, wrapped himself in death and praised Allah. The fat man in a new Mercedes drove him to the door. Just another poor boy out to fight a rich man's war.
Just listen to him. Yeah, I almost lost my mind. I regained my senses again. Looked into my heart to find. I believe in one fine day all the children of Abraham will lay down their soul to heaven, Jerusalem. I may have only dreaming. Maybe I'm just a fool, but I don't remember learning how to read in Sunday school. But somewhere along that street, and never look back again. But I still find some comfort now and then when the storm comes rumbling in. I can't lay me down when the drums drum again. I can't stand the sound, but I believe there'll come a day when the lion and the lamb will lie down in peace together in Jerusalem. There'll be no barricades then. There'll be no wire walls. We can wash all this blood from our hands. All this hatred from our souls. But I believe that on that day, all the children of Abraham will lay down their souls forever in Jerusalem.
An evening with Steve Earle and the Dukes, captured live in 2005 at the Lensic Performing Arts Center in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I'm your host, John Strader, and this is Southwest Stages. We'll have much more music, and I'll finish talking with Steve Earle backstage coming up right after this short break.
Oh, Condi, Condi, can't you hear me calling? Standing on the street outside your garden wall. Pocket full of money, belly full of wine. Condi in my heart and romance on my mind. Listen to me, Condi, don't be afraid. I come here tonight to chase your blues away. I never hurt you, I treat you right. Oh, Condoleezza, won't you come out tonight? Condi, Condi, oh, Condi, Condi. Oh, Condi, Condi, oh, Condi, Condi. Oh, Condi, Condi, oh, Condi, Condi.
Fan Man Productions presents The Gypsy Kings, Monday, August 22nd at 8 p.m. at the Santa Fe Opera. The Gypsy Kings' vigorous guitar work and passionate vocals are the trademark of an indigenous musical tradition known as rumba flamenca. Tickets on sale now through the Santa Fe Opera box office or at 1-800-280-4654. More information on cool Fan Man concert events in Santa Fe is on the Fan Man website at fanmanproductions.com.
Now, you've put yourself on the radar, kind of put a target on yourself by some of these right-wing folks with, your Revolution talk and specifically John Walker Blues. You want to Rich Man's War. You want to tell me a little bit about that? I don't really know.
Well, I mean, it's just the people that I've managed to piss off are the New York Post and, like Fox Television. And, I mean, if I'm not pissing those people off, then I'm not doing your job. Yeah. I don't.
Sure.
I mean, when it comes right down to it, it's not. And Air America is still out there, and I think it's really important. And I'm a big, I'm played more on non-commercial radio than I am on commercial radio. But I think the important thing about I have a show on Air America on Sunday nights, and it's a music show, and
that's on XM radio, correct?
It's available on XM and Sirius, and it's also available on the internet, and it's available through 41 AM outlets throughout the United States.
Wow.
It's a national radio network.
And so, what is the show? What is the main focus of the show? Just for
the show's a music show. The main focus is people coming in, bringing their records, and my guests come in and play records 3 weeks out of the month, and 1 month I just play the records I want to play.
Wow.
So it gets political sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. But it's one of two. There's two music shows on the network, mine and Chuck D's. And Chuck D has one called Bring the Noise, and mine's called The Revolution Starts Now, and we're both on Sunday nights.
Yeah. So you named it after your latest album.
Yeah.
Well, lastly, what can we do as normal Americans to stand up and try to make a change? I mean, people voted. I know a lot of people who feel after 2 elections, they feel their vote really almost doesn't count because they we do everything we can, all to get out the vote, and then we still get beat by the establishment. I mean, what can we do? What do we need to do to change to make something happen?
Well, I mean, I think for in the short term, as long as we think we have a two-party system, which we don't, doesn't say that anywhere in the Constitution.
Sure.
For unapologetic lefties like me, it's like, a lot of us, the big argument was about Nader versus, Ralph Nader represents everything, that I think needs to change in this country when, on paper. But my belief is I never drank the Nader Kool-Aid. And the reason for that is I think Ralph Nader in his own way is just as addicted to being right as George W. Bush is. And I think that's a very dangerous thing, the leader in a democracy. So it wasn't about, to me, it wasn't about lesser evilism.
Sure.
It was about, I don't like Ralph Nader. I'm not sure what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but he just seems very addicted to being right. I think the Democrats need to realize that they'll come closer to they tried to court the center, and basically come up short twice doing that. Basically, the same team handled the Gore campaign that handled the Kerry campaign. And that's how they went about it, and they lost. So maybe it's time to try to bring the left wing of the party back.
Yeah.
And because they're losing it, and there's a lot of people there, and there's a lot of votes there. On the Republican side, one of the things that's hurting our democracy more than anything else is these guys that are running things are not Republicans, and the Republican Party has been willing to completely and totally hand over its party to lunatics just to keep from losing. But we set ourselves up for this. We basically did the same thing. I mean, this is as much about the existence of a Bill Clinton and a Tony Blair as it is about anything else, because Bill Clinton's the only Republican I ever voted for twice.
Yeah.
And Tony Blair is really basically the same thing in the UK. He's not really a Labor PM, and Bill Clinton's not really a Democrat, not in the sense of the Democratic Party that I grew up with.
All right. Well, Steve, thank you so much for spending your time and sharing your thoughts and music with us here on Southwest Stages.
Thanks. In this country, we have what is called right-to-work states scattered through the South and the West. Yeah, and what that is it's a lie. It's based on an idea that very powerful people started fostering years and years ago. First thing they did is they separated our labor movement from the labor movement in the rest of the world, and that was done on purpose. And if you look at the difference between the labor movement and its history in this country and in Europe, you'll see that that's true. There is, although I'm seeing some frighteningly American-looking things start to happen in Europe, and I tell them all the time they need to watch out. Trade unions are extremely important. They are the only power that working people have. And that's true now, and it's always been true. It's really simple. Like, if you got a boss, then you need a fucking union. It's really that. And anybody that doesn't believe that is either never lost their job or never had, a company come into the place that they live and where they love and use them and the land up and then just leave and not put things back the way that they found them. And definitely is somebody that's never had a dangerous job. This is called Harlan Man.
I'm a Harlan man. I went down on a mine when I was barely grown. It was easy thing. I didn't know what I know now. I'm a family man. That's the only life we've ever known. 'Cause I'm a Harlan man. Just as long as my luck and my lungs hold out. I'm a mountain man. I'm born in East Kentucky and here I'll stay. There's a good Lord's plan. I wake up in the morning and find looking at the land. Well, not a long weekend, I draw my pay. 'Cause I'm a Harlan man. You'll never catch a wine and I ain't that kind. I'm a union man, just like my daddy and all my kin. I take a union stand, no matter what the company said. Got me two good hands. All long as I'm able, I won't give in. 'Cause I'm a Harlan man. Find a mother till the day I'm dead. My name's John Lee Pettimore. I seen with my daddy and his daddy before. I never saw granddaddy out here. Only come to town about twice a year. 500 pennies, that's a copping line. Every morning new made moonshine. Now the revenue man, granddaddy bad, help behind on everything had. For my time in life been told, never come back from Copper Red Road. Shaking the baby like Dutch. Buying at an auction at the Mason Light. Shouting at a sheriff painted on the sign. I shot a cold primer and looked inside. Ran him out, could tore the engine down. I still remember that rumbling sound. Sheriff come around in the middle of the night. Let my McCran and someone ran. And out of nights with a weekly look. Smell of whiskey burning out Copperhead Road. Back better stay away from Copperhead Road. Copperhead Road. Copperhead Road. Copperhead Road. Change the world. Tell me that's evolution. Well, you know, I wanna change the world. If you're talking about destruction, don't you know you can count me out? Well, you know, we all love to see the plan. Ask me for a contribution. Well, you know, we're all doing what we can. If you want money for people with minds that hate, I can tell you, brother, you have to wait. Don't you know it's alright? Alright. 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 you change your head. It's an institution where you know better free your mind instead. Here you can pictures of jam 'em out. He don't make it with anyone anyhow. Alright. 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 Woo. I was walking down the street in the town where I was born. I was moving to a beat that I never felt before. I opened up my eyes. I took a look around. It was written across the sky. The revolution starts now. Yeah, the revolution starts now. Revolution starts now. When we rise above our fear, tear the wall around us down. The revolution starts here. Where we work and play, where we lay our money down. What we do and what we say. The revolution starts now. Yeah, the revolution starts now. Yeah, the revolution starts now in your own backyard, in your own hometown. What you do is stay around, just follow your heart. The revolution starts now. Last night I had a dream, thought the world would turn around. All I hope to come to be, and the people gathered around. We all brought what we could bring. Nobody went without. I learned a song to sing. The revolution starts. Yeah, the revolution starts now in your own backyard, in your own hometown. What you do is stay around, just follow your heart. The revolution starts now. Yeah, the revolution starts now in your own backyard, in your own hometown. What you do is stay around, just follow your heart. The revolution starts. Campbell, Kelly Looney, Will Rigby, the Dukes, thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Steve Earle, and I'm with the Dukes, and we're here live at the Lensic Performing Arts Center, and you're listening to us on Southwest Stages Radio. I do enjoy being here because there's a community of people here that think a lot more like I do than the place where I've lived for the last 30 years, and it's nice. It's a nice rest for me, and every time I come, I don't, a lot of us, woke up on the 3rd of November feeling like we had our asses kicked. There's not any doubt about that. I was one of them. But, we can still change this world, and we can definitely stop this war. And by this war, I'm not talking about Iraq in particular, because these guys could bail on Iraq and leave it just exactly like it is. In fact, I've been hearing that that's what exactly is going to happen. It's a matter of where are they going next. What we can do about that, I think... what's going to stop this war is going to be like what stopped the Vietnam War. I think it's going to look a lot more like a insurrection than a political process. Now, that being said, I'm not talking about anybody hurting anybody, but I am talking about organizing, and we have more ways to do that than we ever have. This is the largest worldwide movement against a war ever put together before the first shot was even fired, and we have that to build on. And we probably eventually will have to get out in the streets, and when it comes time, you'll know what time it is. Come on!
Time's come today. Young hearts can go the way. Put it off to another day. We don't care what others say. They say we don't listen anyway. But the time has come today.
Oh, the rules have changed today.
Time.
Time.
I've been thinking about the subway.
Time.
My love is blown away.
Time.
My tears are come and gone.
Time.
Oh my Lord, I got to roam.
Time.
I have known.
Now the time's come. There's no place to run. I might be burned up by the sun. I've had my fun.
I've been loved and put aside.
Time.
I've been crushed by the tumbling tide.
Time.
And my soul's been psychedelicized. Now the time's come.
There are some things to realize, but the time has come today. Yeah, the time has come today.
Now the time has come.
Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Southwest Stages. You've been listening to Steve Earle and the Dukes, recorded live in February of 2005 at the Lensic Performing Arts Center in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I'd like to thank Steve Earle for spending his time with us and allowing Southwest Stages to record his performance for this broadcast. Steve Earle's CDs, tour dates, and other information is available at steveearle.com. I'd also like to thank some of the people who made this show possible. Thanks to Jamie Lenfesty and Fan Man Productions, the Lensic Performing Arts Center, Miguel Castillo, and Santa Fe Audio Visual. Microphones are provided by Electro Voice, a proud sponsor of Southwest Stages. More information available at electrovoice.com. Southwest Stages would like to thank our volunteer staff and crew. Engineer and Technical Director Chip Borton. Engineer and Operations Manager Nola Daves Moses. Engineer Axel Corral. Production and Multimedia Jim Flynn. The engineer for this show was Chip Borton. Website and voice work is provided by David House and HouseArts.com. Special thanks to Daphne Strader for all of her help and support. Southwest Stages program schedule, member stations, broadcast times, and contact information is available at southweststages.org. Southwest Stages is a nonprofit organization funded in part by contributions from radio listeners like you. If you want to help support Southwest Stages, you can donate by sending check or money order to Southwest Stages, 6101 Mossman Place Northeast, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87110. I'm John Strader, the producer and host of Southwest Stages. Thank you so much for listening. Tune in next week as we hit the road in search of more great live music right here on Southwest Stages.
Support for Southwest Stages comes from Aloha RV, providing motorhomes, travel trailers, fifth wheels, and more. Aloha RV features a large parts store and a staff of experienced technicians, located at 8300 Pan American Freeway in Albuquerque. AlohaRV.com. And by Resort Quest. Resort Quest Vacation Rentals provides vacation home and condominium rentals in premier beach, mountain, and desert resorts across North America. More information at resortquest.com or 888-683-9836.
Next time on Southwest Stages, we'll travel to the 2003 Summer Blast held at the Paulo Soleri Amphitheater in Santa Fe, New Mexico, for the Queen of the Blues, Coco Taylor.
Honest thing, you better leave.
Tune in for music and interviews with Coco Taylor on the next edition of Southwest Stages.